you. I'm going to be very brief with regard to the presentation that we're making this evening. As the Minister said, there's a total of 6 suspects that have been arrested and detained in connection with the murder of the 2 individuals, Mr. Keenan Forbes, also known as AKA, as well as Mr. Tabelo Motswane, who's also known as Tips. The incident that happened on the 10th of February in Florida, here in Devon. These 6, they played different roles during the operation. We have a coordinator who's basically the master of everything, is in custody. We have 2 shooters that you also on social media. We have 2 spotters that were part. One of the spotters was inside the restaurant observing and watching Mr. Forbes and his friends, as well as the organizer of firearms and vehicles, because the vehicle used as getaway, firearms that were used to shoot, they were all hired. As I said, the 6 of them. The spotter initially followed Mr. Forbes from the airport on arrival, all the way to the hotel, as well as to the restaurant where the incident happened. And this person was also responsible for gathering resources together, the whole team together, as well as the rewards that came thereafter when the people have done their job, the payments that was done. And the second suspect that we have is a person who supplied firearms and vehicles, and that person was also linked to other 2 murder cases, not these ones that that we're talking about. And the third one, it's a shooter who is linked to another murder case, another parallel murder case. We have another spotter that was just outside the restaurant, who's also linked to another case. And we have another spotter who was outside Wish, who's linked to other 2 murder cases. And we have a shooter also as a 6th person who's linked with another murder case. In total of the exhibits that we've recovered thus far, it's a total of 4 vehicles, as well as a firearm that was used in a commission of crime, as well as cartridges that were picked up from the crime scene that were linked with another crime scene where another shooting happened. The first vehicle, which is a Mercedes-Benz, was recovered on the 6th of March last year. And the second recovery was on the 22nd of April, and that was a firearm that was used to shoot and kill Mr. Forbes, specific. On the 23rd of June, the team identified, after recovering these cartridges, they linked them together and were able to link that and confirm that they're all involved. That firearm that was used in both murder scenes. A BMW was recovered on the 2nd of August. That's a vehicle that was trailing Mr. Forbes when he landed in KZN from the airport all the way to the hotel, all the way to the restaurant. A grey I-10 vehicle was recovered on the 20th of October last year. And on the 23rd, the last vehicle, which is a Polo, was recovered as well. So all these recoveries were kept in police premises, and we processed them. The last 2 vehicles were hired from the owner who rented these vehicles. So we took the statement from the owner. We've done all the necessary things, touched DNA and everything that we needed on those cars, and we since released them to the owner, because the owner just rented this vehicle out. So we've got all the evidence as the person who rented the cars. We have all the evidence, and we're comfortable with that case. Timelines, as I've explained, on recoveries will also be the same with arrests. The first arrest, or perhaps maybe before I explain the arrest, before the questions, the strategy that we employed was that after identifying these 6, we're going to look for parallel cases that they are involved in. And we're going to arrest them on those cases and keep them in custody, but don't charge them on the case that we're investigating, the main case 85 of February last year, which happened in Florida. So the reason for that is because we wanted to make sure that we get almost all the suspects, especially the organizer of the hit. So after identifying everyone else, and we could realize that of the 6 suspects, at least 4 of them, we have parallel cases that we can link them with. So we started pursuing those parallel cases. One of them was the case that was talked about in the media, where we went to Cape Town and we arrested someone in Cape Town. I'm sure you might have heard about it. We brought them back here. We charged a person on a parallel case, but the very same person was linked to this case, but we didn't charge him on the case. So we went on with the rest of these arrests that we effected. The first one being the 22nd of April, where the organizer of firearms and vehicles, the person who was renting this out, was arrested and was charged on different cases, as well as most recently he's now been linked to this one of case 85. On the 24th of October, that's when we effected our second arrest. This was a spotter who was arrested, also being involved in murder in another case that happened, except the one that you're talking about. On the 14th of December, we arrested the third suspect. And that suspect was also linked with another murder case that happened in Mazimtoti, including, but we did not charge on this one that we are talking about today. On the 24th of February, maybe let me explain this one. After identifying the 2 suspects that we're looking for, after chasing them the whole year, we found the house where they were hiding in Swaziland. So through information, we could spot them, and we got informers to tell them and give us their photos, and we could confirm their whereabouts. So because we wanted to follow the law, and I like South African media because you tend to understand now the law, that we can't be talking about things that are still in court, especially when individuals have not been charged. So in this case, we approached the NPA, an affidavit was prepared, and we submitted through Interpol in order to request the authorities in Swaziland to help us catch these 2. These 2 were arrested on Saturday morning in Swaziland for other cases, as I've spoken about, including the one that we're talking about. However, when we were talking about the other parallel cases, it's simple because we did not want to scare the very last 2 that we're still looking for. We had warrant of arrest for the last 2, which is the main guy that without him this case would not have been strong. We needed to get that one behind bars. So after getting these 2 on Saturday, we're told that they found them. We did not communicate that, as has been the case throughout, that you're not communicating it. We did not communicate on Saturday. We did not communicate on Sunday. On Monday, we had on our possession warrant of arrest of the last 2. Unfortunately, the news broke out. So when the news broke out, the very last suspect we're looking for went on a run, because the news were out, and they realized that the people that they thought were hiding that side, they're now running away, that they've been arrested. So they ought to run. So the team worked 24/7, 24 hours looking for them, and that was from Monday until early hours of this morning, when the lawyers came to us and they said, okay, they're going to hand themselves over, because we were hunting them and we had warrant of arrest. So this afternoon, they then were arrested and charged on the same case 85. One of these suspects that are in custody, that will amount into a total of 6 suspects that we're looking for. 4 of them are here, and 2 of them are not here yet, because we're still busy with the legal process that we cannot engage on now, because it involves many parties. So that's basically all.